I just got this Ryobi 4-cycle trimmer given to me. It's a straight shaft. It's a nice machine. You can tell it's been neglected. The primer's all cracked here, and I believe they had it stored on its side, and because it's a 4-stroke, the oil was pouring out of the muffler right here. So I assume that the cylinder's full of oil. Here's where you put the oil in these. And I dumped out what was in the fuel tank, and this is what came out. It's half water, half gas. The filter came out. The fuel lines are rotted, so I'm gonna have to do a complete tune-up on this machine. I'm also going to be taking apart the carburetor, replacing the fuel lines, and possibly reusing this filter if it's still good. So I'm going to start by putting in the new fuel lines. The size of fuel line you need for that is 3/16 outside diameter and 3/32 inside diameter. What I've got here is some Oregon fuel line. You can also use Tygon, which is very similar to this one. I'm just going to start with the primer line here. I'm just going to pull it off. If it doesn't want to come off by pulling, don't pull too hard because you can break the connector. What you want to do in that case is grab your X-Acto knife, cut a sliver in the fuel line like that. Make sure you don't cut the connector. And this should weaken the line, and now it should come off. So I'm going to start by cutting the end of the fuel line on an angle. This will make it easier to insert in the fuel tank. I'm going to spray a bit of liquid wrench on it, just to make it easier to put in. And I'm going to insert it into the second hole. Now you only need to insert approximately 1.5 inches for the primer. Now here's an in-tank view. You can see the tip of the yellow line in there. Next I'll just measure out the line and cut it. Now with this fuel line here, we're going to need to insert a lot more in, because it's the one that the filter goes on. So once you've inserted about 5 to 6 inches, and you can see the fuel line in the tank right there, grab a wire with a tip shaped like a hook, and reach in there and grab the fuel line like that, and bring it up. Bring it up like this. Then cut the tip flat like this. You can stuff a rag here just to stop your line from going back in the fuel tank. I'm going to grab a pick like this and insert it into the fuel line, just expand it a bit, because the filter is going to be a bit hard to put in that small hole. Put it in and turn it a bit. And I've put a bit of liquid wrench in the fuel line. Now on this filter it goes like this, one washer here and the other 4 here. The washers are there to provide weight for the filter to sit at the bottom of the tank. Now hold the filter with your thumb at the back and then gently push in. Just be careful doing this because the connector here can easily break. So if you find it too hard to put in, expand the tip of the line again with that pick or a screwdriver. So once you've got it in all the way like this, that's good. You can put it back into the fuel tank. If you find that you've pulled in too much line to put the filter on, you can always pull here to bring the line back in. And if you look in there, I'm going to pull it till the filter's flat in the tank. Now the other line here goes up top here. That's the first line we put in. Now this is the line with the filter at the end, goes right above the primer. Make sure you don't mix the two. That's all there is to it. It's as simple as that. Anybody can do this. Just follow the video closely.